Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, Investors Link podcast, baby. And today we got a very special guest. We got Brian Leon. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, baby. Woo! Yeah.
I'm known as the Jamie and Investors Link podcast. Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah,
Your
that's
bridges.
right. And we also got the one and only.
Hola.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Anthony DeLuca. Anthony Vincent DeLuca.
Anthony Vincent
Vincent.
DeLuca.
Si, senor.
Dang, that is amazing, brother.
Not Vincente Vincent.
Yep. Well, real estate is a fun little game we can play. It makes you some money. It gets you scared sometimes. There's risk involved. It's a lot of danger.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Danger.
a
A lot of fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah, there's danger.
Yeah, there is.
You mean like bears, animals, that kind of danger?
No. Squatters, people in the house.
Ghosts,
Ghosts, dogs. Lots of
murder suspects?
There's a few of those. Yep.
That only happens in bigger cities, right?
Welcome to Yuma.
Border town.
Board town, baby.
Yeah, there's tunnels. We found a lot of
There are tunnels.
drug tunnels in these houses in Yuma.
So what do you guys do? Just cover them up?
Exactly. Oh, we sell them for more money.
Don't say that. We're on a podcast.
Oh, we sell them for more money. Bailey keeps those.
So, somebody said we can't hear.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Problematica.
Who can they hear?
Can Pacific Storage Solution. Can you hear anybody or no?
Oh, that's
Put your
it's
phone on
Yvonne.
max volume and see if it comes through on your phone, Bailey. The one where you got the live stream going on. Looks like there might be some technical difficulties. I'm speaking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There might be no audio. Is there any audio coming through? No.
Can she hear you? Text her.
Oh, they said I heard now.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, good.
So
So it's
audio's
like a
good now?
lag.
There's an audio lag.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's Yvonne.
Yeah,
She
Yvonne.
owns a storage facility place.
Shout out, Yvonne.
Shout out Yvonne. Looking out.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that storage place.
It's you got to go down there to check it out. It's unique.
It's nice. Where is it at?
They rent spaces. You put equipment. You can put in tools. You can put furniture, whatever you want. You can use it as a personal storage, or you.
So
can
I'm
use
not limited on the type of stuff I can store?
No, she has a lot of different.
I've been to some
flexibility.
places where they're like, no, you can't put that in there. I won't have that problem here.
Yeah, no, she takes
Wow,
explosives.
that is amazing.
Yeah, and I think you rent like trailer space, or you need to park a car, or park equipment.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, I've been actually looking for something like that.
yeah, and I think she's gonna start building, basically using containers to build out for multi-purpose, like, housing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like offices, maybe.
Yeah, offices, businesses.
Fun fact, we have a container.
We do have a container. Actually, we're reaching out to her to get some other containers.
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want any containers, you want to store some items, you don't want to be limited on the type of storage you want to do, you want to park stuff in a parking lot, Yvonne's your girl.
Yep. Hit her up at Pacific Storage Solutions.
Pacific Storage Solutions.
Bailey could drop it inside maybe the comments.
Yeah.
Tag her.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and tag that. That's awesome. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So
Yeah,
we have Leon Bridges.
we do.
He's joined us. Leon, this is the first time he's been on camera, but he's been with us for over a year.
Behind the scenes, commercials.
He's our Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, he is.
He does a lot for us. And so, what do you like about the real estate investment?
What I like
business?
about it, from a person who's never done it before, and just starting with you, Anthony and Felix, it's like a whole different adventure. You come across so many things you would never think of. You might come across like in Yuma, because everybody thinks Yuma's quiet.
Right.
It's not quiet.
No.
No, there's a lot of different characters
Tons of characters.
tons of characters you have to deal with. But I think it's just the mystery of each deal of each property that you go into is like the big, like, let's say the dopamine that each one gets. Because whenever you guys get a deal through, you guys are like, woo! You guys get excited.
Baby.
You guys get pumped.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, let's go. I hear something. I'm like, oh, we closed something? Then
Yeah,
I'll go
so-
on my computer.
So Leon's a very even keel Sometimes we have to check and see if he has a pulse.
Yeah, we do.
But he's still alive, and so it's good. Obviously, that keeps people grounded. Felix can be the opposite,
Yeah.
bouncing off the walls. But
Going
fun
crazy.
fact is they know each
You
other
can't
very
keep
well.
me down.
They've known each other for
You
years.
can't control me, man.
I'm the opposite of him.
They are. They're pretty much opposites attract, but they keep each other in line.
I'm the North. He's the South Pole.
They're like they're brothers though. So now that you work with Felix, because you used to just be his buddy,
Mm-hmm.
and Leon has a deep background in retail. He worked for Home Depot for how many years?
I worked for Home Depot for 5 years, and majority of those years I was a merchandise executioner.
Damn.
So whenever you would stop by Home Depot and say, "Hey, they moved this stuff. Where'd it go?" That was me.
Ooh.
So
You're,
I moved
you're the
everything.
one fucking shit up.
I'm the one. Yeah, yeah.
God damn it, bro.
Hey, don't look at me. The vendors pay their money. Everything you see in there is space that they buy. It's like rent.
So when I always go to
That's
that.
interesting. So
Yeah.
check this out.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Home Depot. Leon, turned me on to this. I had heard about it, but he solidified it. So Home Depot basically is a landlord to all the materials companies, to Milwaukee, to all the brands.
All of them.
The appliance companies, they basically rent their space inside the store from them. And all they do is they send all the merchandise. And all Home Depot is a big shopping mall for these vendors.
Yeah, and sometimes there's companies that have more money, deeper pockets, so they pay for the best spots. All the time, eye level. That's kind of where you want to be at, and those are the most expensive,
God damn.
expensive rents right there.
Right.
Just
So,
like you want to live here in Yuma, you want to live in the good area, you gotta pay good money.
there you go. I like that.
Dude, is
Sometimes, sadly, we're gonna renovate. We're gonna renovate, so you guys we have to kick you guys out.
is there a chance that this is corporate espionage and you're just giving us information that's supposed to be confidential?
Nope, Walmart does it too.
Oh,
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Tell who else?
Walmart does it. Target does it. All retail stores
Yeah, I believe it.
So you're
because-
telling me that they gotta pay more money if they want to be
in the
on
best
on
spots.
the,
well,
on the
what I
middle
heard,
lanes?
they don't actually own the merchandise. So
No.
that's it's a great business model. Like Amazon, they don't own their merchandise.
No, they don't.
So they sell it, they store it, but they don't have to have the capital to buy it. They just take the, it's like a little
Holy
exchange.
moly! So
So
they're just the wholesalers.
Oh,
Are they wholesalers, man?
that's what they are.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, so they
Holy
take a
crap.
cut. They're the
They
middleman.
put their price on top and they assign it to a
I'm
client,
sure they
to a
have-
customer.
Oh, absolutely. But
And you know what?
creates efficiency.
Home Depot, just like that, we have our seasonal visitors too.
Hmm.
Halloween, Christmas, even though we do it like months in advance,
Yeah, and
but
then you guys do the tool expos or.
Tool Expo, Summer, Spring, Black Friday.
I walked in there yesterday and they have all the air conditioners lined up now.
Yeah. Everything is done. They do the same thing every year, but it's all timed.
It's all timed.
So how can we learn from this then? From what these big box stores are doing?
Maybe materials.
Well, I was thinking when you said espionage,
Corporate espionage,
materials.
baby.
But when Felix was saying corporate espionage, so like there's a lot of things like I don't know what it's called, Bailey. It's when the Airbnb it's not arbitrage, or is it arbitrage? Okay, Airbnb arbitrage, when they don't own the building, they basically get the lease. So somebody owns the house, they go to somebody and say, hey, listen, I want to do an Airbnb, but I don't have the money to buy the house or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll rent it from you.
Oh, okay.
Can I lease this house out for you? And the guy's gonna be like, yeah, give me $2,000 a month. And they're like, well, you gonna live here? No, I don't want to live here. I'm gonna pay you the $2,000 a month, but I'm gonna furnish this house. I'm gonna make it look amazing. I'm gonna stage it, and I'm gonna rent it out for $100 a day, so that I make $3,000 a month. I pay you your $2,000, I keep $1,000.
Yeah.
So that's basically what they do. They're the middleman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is.
They rent the space. They rent the space out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They rent the space out.
And then lease this space back to another consumer.
Damn.
Yep.
So the world is run by middlemen.
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
they're doing the work though. They should,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're taking a lot of the risk.
Majority of the time, they're not gonna try to send representatives to like come and check out this place.
Yeah, I think we got a question.
No, somebody else said they couldn't hear you.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Give me 1 second here. Hold this.
All right. 1 sec. Technical
Technical
difficulties.
difficulties.
Ellie Campbell, thanks for looking out.
Ellie
Try to fix
Campbell.
Thank you, but
Who can't they hear? They can't hear anybody? Maybe ask them.
it's on it's on audio codec. I checked both settings.
I don't know. Might be. So nobody can hear us. It's cutting out. So why
It's probably Instagram. It's probably the stream.
why don't-
Instagram was lagging a little bit.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we cut to break? We'll be back in a couple minutes. Figure this out. Refresh the stream. It's just an idea.
Texting 1, 2, 3.
So, well, Felix is trying to fix this. If we are on, that way we can keep this
We
going.
have the recording going on still.
Oh, okay. So my question is then, just to pick your brain,
Mm-hmm.
because you do a lot of stuff in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and that could be difficult for a lot of people.
What were we talking about during one of our events too as well? Kind of like almost I have the word in my head. It's almost like I sift through all your guys' paper and make sure that it's all organized.
Yeah, but you do way more than that. So you meet with clients.
Mm-hmm. I have.
You meet with. So you show properties.
Mm-hmm.
You take photos of properties.
Oh yeah.
You talk to our clients and call them and keep them updated. You property manage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of
Yeah.
our properties. Everybody knows you're the go-to guy. You take the payments, make sure the bills are paid. You make sure that
Try to get everything set up, everything step by step. Make sure they're going in order. Like several properties that we have going on. Like, hey, we got to get this thing cleaned up. It's like, all right, I'll call our guy, clean it up. I'll call a cleaning lady. All right, basically, and just keep you guys updated where it's at, so that way you guys can also plan ahead.
So
what the
you
process
allow
would
us
be.
to be in our roles and do what we can do, and you kind of just clean up the loose ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
because sometimes, sometimes you can't always focus on the little tedious things. Like they matter, but sometimes you may not have time for it. Felix or Bailey may not have time for it. So it's like, ayo, Leon, can you do us a solid? Can you head over here? Can you take this letter, give it to the title company or give it to a client?
and like you said, that little thing, it matters big time. So
Check on clients.
yeah, you play a big role in getting things done. So I tell you all the time, I never ever heard you say no to anything we've asked you to do.
No.
And so if you can find somebody like that on your team, somebody who's selfless, who's willing to do whatever you ask them to do.
Yep.
And I always tell Leon this: we never ask him to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves, but because he's better at some of those things than we would be too. Because he has the time, and that's what he's going to devote himself, like cleaning up the mess that we left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of people don't have that. They don't have the what do you call it? That's a luxury. I think you're a luxury piece in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They don't have the luxury to have an individual like Leon, so it makes it really difficult. I know for myself, before you came on, it was super difficult. A lot of those things were undone.
Yeah, I started
so-
off sifting through all your guys' mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd go through all our mail and be like, "Hey, you spent this much here.
What?
You did this there," and I'm like, "Hey, let's stay at it.
Big thing,
I don't need another wife."
past dues.
Yeah, I know. He's like, "You need to pay your bills."
And
Anthony."
he'd come in very aggressively.
super
He'd
aggressive.
slam the paper. He'd look at you,
Pay
sneer.
this now.
Yeah, what's this, man? What's up with this
I
bill?
already paid that.
What does this bill mean, man?
Well, why do you have 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.
It put us into shape.
No,
though.
but he got us an auto pay. I mean,
Yeah.
super important stuff that you're like, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to get this done." And so it's always in the back of your mind. Now it's like, "Hey, Leon, could you do this?" And boom.
You know what I like about
It's
Leon?
like a genie. It's gone.
It's not his money, but it feels like to him like it's his money.
Oh yeah,
And
Well-
I think I appreciate that.
I super appreciate.
Well,
that.
the thing is, if your guys' money is not in order, I'm not getting paid.
Look at that. I
So
like that.
it is my money. I gotta worry about it.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta make sure you guys stay afloat. You guys are like, okay, you guys are not spending too much. Most of the time, it's not on unnecessary things. It's things you have to. It's just
Yeah.
I just gotta make sure that okay, it makes sense. Because we've had some things happen where it's like, oh, we still paying this. Like we don't even use it anymore.
Yeah, I got really upset when Bridges canceled my my subscription to the energy drink stores.
No, that was a good move.
So you didn't need that.
I don't know, man. It was a business expense. That's what kept me going.
Well,
Water keeps you going.
Yeah, it does. I love water.
water's good.
H2O, baby. Hydrogen and two oxides. No,
So-
it's dihydrogen oxide.
Yeah.
Dihydrogen oxide.
Yeah, two
So-
hydrogens, one
H2O.
oxygen. Yeah, two hydrogens, one oxygen. One. It's not even oxygen. Oxygen is O2. Did you know that?
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
knew
people
that.
see the O and they're like, oh, it's oxygen. No. It's oxide. O2
is
is
then
oxygen.
Okay.
O3 is
Is-
trioxide.
Trioxide.
Yeah.
What's carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide?
CO.
Yeah, that's C, which is carbon.
Carbon
And then,
with an O.
yeah, it's
CO.
yeah.
CO2?
Monoxide is O.
Okay.
It's one O. So you can say monoxide.
Monoxide.
That's the proper way to say.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can't just say oxide. You got to say
Monox.
monoxide.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
So dihydrogen monoxide.
We like science around here.
I love science. Yeah.
And
So
so
you-
we were talking about. So Leon sits in on all the meetings.
He does.
Okay, and so he sits on like personal meetings. He sits on the dispo side meetings with the investors. He sits on the acquisition side of the meetings. He sits on meetings with me as for traditional real estate, because he kind of has his hand in everything. And Leon, we come to him sometimes for a lot of input. You guys would not realize, asking him, "Hey Leon, what do you think?" And he's quick to give his answer. He's
Yeah.
quick to give his opinion. He knows either he's been thinking about it for days or he just gunslings it. But
You're like 2 words in and you haven't even finished your 7-word sentence, and at the second word, he
he's
already
like,
has
no.
an answer for
He's
it.
like, no.
No.
Yep.
Yes. No.
So
What the hell?
Yeah. How do you know that? You didn't even know. You didn't even hear what I said.
Yep.
But
Look
he knows
right
it. There we go.
He did it right now. Yeah.
So we were talking about that, and there's some disadvantages, some advantages to that. But we were talking this morning. You were in on this meeting, and we were talking about, and this is some. We're gonna get to like some more general investor stuff, more than just off Leon now.
Yeah.
Because Kay wants a segment. She wants to hear that. Remember, she wants us to
Yeah.
say when we're gonna switch the subject.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we were talking about how do you know the value of the properties and coming up with what we call ARV.
Yeah.
Which
Actually,
a lot of investors know about is after rehab value.
yeah. You know what? Actually, Leon here prepared a few questions for us.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Bridges, can you take it off?
Take it off. Like,
Yeah.
check
Go
it
ahead.
off.
Go start the questions.
Okay, start the questions. All right. So I got 5 questions.
Okay.
All
As a
right.
new person,
We're,
in,
we're on speed dial, so we got to answer these as quickly
on
as we
real
can.
estate
Okay.
investment. So first question is,
All right.
what type of real estate should I invest in? What should I start with?
Me.
Felix.
Okay. I think that because you are a beginner, the type of real estate investing that you should start with is going to have to be a rental property.
Why a rental? What's the difference between a regular
Because
and a rental?
a rental property for a man like you, a handsome man like you, is because you don't have any family members, you don't have a wife, you don't have any kids to worry about, you got very minimal responsibilities, right? So just imagine the situation that you got roommates, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now imagine the owner of that house.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing exactly what I want you to do, or exactly what I'm thinking you should do. You should get your house. You don't have any kids, so you don't have to worry about the whole house being for yourself, but get a 3 or a 4-bedroom house. As long as you qualify for it, boom, rent out the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on doing some more roommate shit.
I agree. I'll take it one step further.
Okay. Anthony.
If first property, I'll tell this to my son, my nephew, whoever. If I was you, you're young. Like Felix said, you have no responsibilities or minimal responsibilities, no children that we know of, no women that we know of, because he keeps things secret from us. And so
I know there's
I
like 2 or
would
3.
do the same thing Felix said, but I would hack it on a property hack doing a multifamily. I would do a duplex, triplex, do the same thing Felix just said, but I would also, Brian has a twin, Leon has a twin. I would get my twin brother to pay me rent.
Yeah.
So live in this one of the duplexes, one of the apartments I would live in with your brother, so you get him to pay. Then you can rent the other one out
Yeah.
to another person, another family, whatever you want.
Absolutely. You know what?
I'd buy a multifamily property.
I'm gonna take what you're dealing and up one more level.
Okay.
All right. Okay. You know what really grinds my gears, Bridges?
Sounds like you need WD-40.
Okay. This guy.
What grinds your gears?
All right. You fucked it up, man. No, I'm kidding. All right. So when people be telling you to get a duplex, but how easy is that? How many duplex come out a year here that sell?
Here in Yuma?
Yeah. How many do you see a year?
Not a whole lot.
Not a
to
whole
be
lot,
honest,
right?
No.
No. And usually what? They go quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much are they worth? Would you qualify for one?
No, I would not.
And usually the ones that you do qualify for, they need what?
Need repairs?
They need repairs. Do you have that money for those repairs?
No.
No. So, but what's easier though? Getting qualified for a house.
That is
And
way
this
easier.
this how I'm upping one more level, buy the house, but instead of moving into that house and then renting the rest of the rooms,
Rent the whole house.
rent the whole house. Keep staying with your roommate, dog.
Yeah?
Keep staying with your roommate and rent the whole house.
Yeah, so I told that to my friend the other day. He's like, "Oh, dude, why do I need to buy a property?" And I said, "Why not?" And he says, "Well, I live with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I don't live with them. I live in the back house." I'm like, you could still live in the back house with your parents.
Exactly.
Do exactly what Felix said. Buy the property, though. Go buy a property. You're not going to pay the mortgage. You're having somebody else pay the mortgage. And I think that's where a lot of people get lost in it. They first of all think, man, I'm going to have a mortgage payment. But
Yep.
no, you're not going to have a mortgage payment. Your tenants are going to pay your mortgage.
Yep. And do you get more money by getting like roommates, people to rent each room, or just renting the whole house to like a family?
Well, we got like companies like Pad Split, which they're renting out the house.
That's a little bit more permanent though, right?
Yeah, no, they're you can do them month to month, or they can do like.
I mean, like the modifications that they got to do to the property and stuff.
Yeah, they just got to make sure they have like a shared access, but usually it's just renting the bedroom out. But yeah, I would say that's the way you maximize your return on the dollar of your rent. But the downside to that is you're not going to have like a lot of people that maybe want to live. Maybe they just want to rent the whole house out themselves. They don't want other people living. Not
right.
everybody wants to live and maximize the dollar. Some people are just like, hey, I want to have my own space. I want to have my own house. I don't want anybody else in here with me.
Yeah.
So you'd be looking for a specific type of renter.
So I have options, basically.
You got options, bro.
Got
Stop worrying
options.
about it.
No, yeah.
All right, cool.
I'll do that. I'll stop worrying about
No,
it.
he's on his way. I mean, so for those who are struggling to buy their first rental, step one, got to start saving them dollars, saving that dollar to be able to get into your first rental.
Yeah.
Second question.
Ah, shit, all right.
How do I finance my real estate investment?
How do you finance that shit?
Yeah.
All right.
Besides, we spoke about it already, saving money. That's like the quite obvious
That's
one,
the
saving
only way,
money.
dog.
Only way.
Well, you can leverage. I mean, you can access your private capital if it makes sense.
Where are you getting this private capital from, Leon?
Private capital
Yeah.
from a job,
No. What does private capital mean? A private investor. What is that? Private money.
private money.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
All right. So usually when people say like a private loan or private money or private investor, you're not dealing with like a bank. You're dealing with just somebody, someone who
family,
is going to
friends.
lend you that money, a family member, someone you know, somebody at Yuma REI, which is happening on April 10th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. over at the 4 Points Hotel. You know, it's people that you meet. It's somebody that you meet. That's private money. It's private investor. So that's another way to raising capital. Yeah, but more than likely, what is this private investor going to want? They're going to want to see that the person you're dealing with is financially responsible, right?
I mean, usually they don't even underwrite the person. They don't care about that. They care about, I mean, that could be a big step in them wanting to do that if obviously they know who you are, because if if it's private, they probably know you. So they probably want to know that you're a financially responsible person.
What are the chances that an individual like Leon would be able to get 100% financing? Because what I'm trying to basically get to this is, dude, no matter how you cut it, saving money matters, because even if you're able to get the financing, you're still probably going to need the money for either a down payment for that loan or for the repairs or for the things that come up.
Yeah,
that
no,
you're gonna account for.
100%. A lot of people say, oh, you use other people's money and this and that. I mean, eventually you got to pay the piper.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Martelli said in a couple episodes ago. Like he didn't start investing when he was like 20 in his 20s or 30s. It all came because he saved from his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and you don't have to wait as long as he did because he's buying everything cash. So
Right.
he's
Yeah,
not
he is
leveraging
buying
anybody.
everything cash.
But he gave a good example. I mean, but once you start saving that money, if he started earlier, because you go back and ask Martelli, like if he wanted, he would have started earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He would have started doing, buying property, because then you can allow equity to take place and time, time starts multiplying factors. But yeah, I would definitely, Felix is right. Save that money, get into that first property, whether you're living in it or whether you're renting it out, and just allowing things to happen, and you'll feel good about it.
You could do something gangster, bro, and you get private money from some person to purchase a deal, and they get private money from somebody else for the repairs, and they get private money for somebody else for the holding costs for all of the private money that you're getting.
But you still got to make the payment.
But you still got to make the payment.
So that's what a lot of gurus or people say is like, hey, you don't need your own money. You don't need this. You don't need that. But, I mean, you still have to make the payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart about it. You have to figure it out. I mean, if it's a deal that you just cannot pass up, I would do what Felix said.
Mm-hmm.
Borrow, borrow, borrow. But if
there's risk on that.
If you can do it the way, like a little bit more traditional, start saving your money, have a little nest egg, then jump into it, yeah, go for it.
What's the next question?
All right, my third question, what are the key factors to consider when evaluating a property?
Well, that is case by case, as we discussed in other episodes, but it all depends on what you're looking for. What is your objective? Like, for example, we're talking about the property that you're going to be buying, right? And then you basically keep living with your roommate and you rent out the whole house, whether that's renting out each room or renting it to a whole family. Okay, perfect. Now that you know what type of real estate investment objective you're doing and what the plan is, the exit strategy, now you can go ahead and base what you're looking for on that. Now, the major important thing is you obviously want there to be some cash flow. There's no point in you purchasing this house, if after you rent it out, you still have to pay the mortgage because it's not enough to cover it. So that would be the number one thing that I would say.
Okay, yeah.
For that specific.
Right, but what he evaluate, like explain that.
Like
What do you mean?
Location and just
Are you talking about value of the home or?
yeah, like what would be my return?
Okay.
Are you talking?
Well,
Okay.
it just depends. Every single investor has what's important to them. Some people want a certain amount of equity in the deal. Some people want cash flow, like Felix was saying.
Yep.
So you would have to figure out what you want. You'd have to set those parameters. I know you're reading that book,
Millionaire Investor.
Yeah, by Gary Keller.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a great book to read.
What
for those
chapter
who
are you in?
Listening.
I'm on chapter 2. I'm taking things slowly because I want to make sure I dissect everything.
What does chapter 2 talk about?
I would have to look back at my notes.
All right.
So looking at that book, because I've read it too. It's an excellent book. And if you're starting in investing, I mean, that would be a book that I would go after too, because he paints scenarios.
Yeah,
And he talks about
does.
his neighbors and just people that he knows, and he tells little stories that you can relate to. And so it's a great book to kind of see, like, that's me, or that's my friend, or whatever. You could relate with that individual. And then he kind of shows you, like, what are you waiting for? Or you could take that step. So a really great book, right, Leon?
Yep.
And so with that in mind, as you read a book like that, as you talk to other people, talk to other investors, go to the UMREI, and get to know, like, what you want, your specific property that you want, then I would evaluate them. Then I would say, this is what I'm looking, this is my buy box. It's called a buy box. Like, this is what I want to buy. This is what I'm looking for. And if you stick to the, parameters, I think then you'll be able to evaluate properties based on those parameters, saying check, 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 check. Does not check that box, I pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, if you can answer this question, because you'd be surprised how many people don't actually like know the answer to this. I do free consults here, so if you want to come down to the office and talk about what your real estate investing plan is, and if you don't have one, I'll help you create one. That's the whole point of Investors Link. We provide you not only off-market properties, but also guidance on how to do it right and what should work and what won't work for you. A lot of people that come in for these free consultations, when I ask them, like, okay, so what's your plan? What do you want to do? What's your real estate investment goals? Like, what's the purpose? They don't really have an answer. Obviously, other than like, well, I want to make money. Like, yeah, okay, but like, how do you want to do it?
Yeah, and Felix will do that for free.
Yeah.
He'll sit down with you. He'll give you that direction. We also have my brother. He's in Phoenix. Now he charges like a consultation, and he'll set you up. Basically,
Oh yeah, that's right.
more structured. It's called REI,
REI strategies, yeah.
So, and he'll take you and he'll actually walk you through the whole process
Yeah, because the thing is,
as a mentor.
yeah, the real estate investing is such a huge, it's not even a labyrinth. It's just, there's so many directions you can go. It's such an open world that if you don't know how you want to do it without any direction,
Right.
you're just going to meander endlessly and never really move forward, and you're just going to move laterally forever.
That's why I was saying, figure out what you want,
Yeah.
then jump, then start, okay, looking at properties, getting that muscle memory about, okay, this works, this doesn't work. And you got to look at a bunch of stuff. I think a lot of people, that's what they get lost in. They look at a couple of properties and then they stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see a lot of people that really have a passion for real estate. They're always looking at different deals, and eventually you got to pull the trigger. But they're exploring, they're studying, they're learning real estate, learning the market, because that's a huge one. Learning the market, knowing what's going on, asking the right questions and the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the next question?
My fourth question is, what are the risks associated with real estate? Which is,
Where you go
Kinda
bankrupt.
yeah, that's scary.
It is.
You can end up in a situation where you get sued.
But what's
You
scarier?
can lose all your
like,
money.
What's scarier at this point? Like, what do you have to lose right now besides some sleep? I mean, and I don't say that to mean to be like facetious or mean or anything, but
Yeah.
if you don't get started, like what
You'll
your
never know.
Well, your loss is never gonna outweigh the win, because
Mm-hmm.
if you always have nothing to lose, then taking a risk, it doesn't really mean it doesn't mean anything.
What type of risk are you willing to
Yeah,
take?
like
Would
what-
you rather take the risk of never achieving? No, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, say it.
Would you rather take the risk of never achieving your dreams or goals, or trying something that has the potential of doubling your profits or growing your mindset? Or do you want to take the risk of actually doing it? And yeah, you might end up in a hole or something, but it's the great thing about real estate investing is that there's really no way for you to lose, because even when you lose, it's a learning experience that will teach you a great lesson and will make you a much better investor.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to alleviate some worries for like new people. So even then, experienced people, do they still go through loss?
Oh yeah, they go through ups and downs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, so one guy said, there's no bigger risk than the risk of regret. So
Yeah, don't regret anything.
if you're gonna regret things, like the one thing you always hear people say is, I should have bought that.
No regrets.
I should have bought that. I should have. So you never hear people. It's rare that you say hear people like, I'm so glad I didn't buy that. I mean, once in a while you do, but most of the time it's like, man, I should have bought that. I should have kept that property, because it, like Felix said, like it's minimal risk. It usually ends up in the long run. It's a wash. And so you look at that historically, that risk, you hedge your risk and you make logical decisions based on those risks for your situation.
Yeah.
Last and final question, because we
Yeah.
gotta head out.
My last question. How do I calculate the potential return on investment? ROI for a property.
Okay, so that one's also case by case, and going back to the objective, I believe we talked about this before. Come into the office, talk to me. I'll help you figure out what your specific ROI is. But to generalize it, well, it depends on what your exit strategy is. If you're trying to do a rental, your return on investment is how much cash flow are you making a year. Also, there's the other route where maybe you're trying to refinance and take your money out. That's another way to calculate your ROI. How long is it going to take you to repair it? Usually it's about 6 months so that you can cash out and do a cash out refinance, so you can calculate that. If you're going to flip the property, well, then you got to figure out how much you're going to put into in costs, how much it's going to cost you to sell it, and then how much you bought it for, and then how much you can sell it for, and then whatever number is left, that's the profit. It could be negative. You could lose money. You could make money. Help me out here. What's another?
No, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it, right?
It's your return on investment, and what type of investment are you looking for? You're looking for something long-term, short-term. Fix and flip would be short-term. Rentals would be the long-term play.
And there are specific ways to calculate that. There are different formulas, all different ways. At the end of the day, it's all about logic, but there are formulas out there that can help you calculate
So some
that.
people like the cap rate, capitalization rate, rate of return. You got cash on cash return.
Yep.
You have your NOI, your net operating income.
Yep.
I mean, there's all these formulas that you can look at and you can analyze the deal.
Yep.
In my mind, endless possibilities.
Endless. You're just getting started, brother.
Let's get started, though.
Open up the Pandora's box.
Do you have the key for it?
The key is in your heart.
Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is Investors Link Podcast. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for letting us know about the audio issue. I think we fixed that. So you guys have a great day. We have the Yuma REI on April 10th, 5:30 p.m. over at the 4 Points Hotel.
Yes, sir.
Yep. This is Anthony DeLuca. I am Felix. And this is Leon. And we appreciate you guys being here. Take care and see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Later.